So is it okay to lie about your age? What about if you're over 40 or even 50? Hey guys, thanks for joining me here at the Powder Room. So today's topic is it okay to lie about your age? And what I'm specifically talking about here is that early dating phase. So I don't mean long term or somebody that you've known now for several years, but imagine you just met somebody online and you're meeting them for the first date and we're dating within that first month yet and trying to get to know each other. So also want to say this video probably doesn't apply to somebody who may be in that 18 to 30-year-old range, because honestly at that stage, what would be your point to make yourself look younger? If you're 18, the only way you're making yourself younger is by becoming jailbait. So we don't need to go there. So let's just nix that right away. So by an older woman, I mean, 35, 40, 45 and beyond. So let's first of all look at what does a man really even consider attractive? For most men, that is embodied by two things, right? It's her physical beauty, her external look, but also her youth, which is her age. And, beauty, of course, is subjective, but, for most men, if they were to rate a woman on that, 1 to 10 beauty scale, I'm sure they would tell you they would want a woman at least a 7 or higher to be on their arm, because that is, the woman that would raise their status. That is the woman where if their other friends or co-workers see them with, they're automatically envious or think, wow, he must really do well to be able to have a woman like that and provide for her and be her protector. The other side of that coin is the age part, right? So a younger woman, especially if she's still in her 20s, is often seen as more naive, but more importantly for the man is that he can impress her. If he is older, let's say he's late 30s and beyond, he's become more established in his career, maybe heading towards the peak of his earning potential, and maybe he has, a nicer car and has a few assets already, can afford to take her out nicely or gifts, whatever, or show her more attention in terms of materialistic things. And whether that's important to her or not, it allows him to feel more masculine. And if he's looking for somebody younger, the fact that she might potentially also look more feminine, her youth gives her a more feminine look, that makes him feel that much more of a man. So that is certainly one criteria. Also, if you look at any number of websites around YouTube, there are any number of groups who can be quite cruel when it comes to women, and they like to refer to women who are 30 and older as having hit the wall. So I'm always amused by that, as if they never hit the wall, right? A man always just gets better with age. Not always true. So anyway, so to hit the wall, there are a few things that are included with that, right? That means they probably let themselves go physically by putting on weight. And unfortunately, that is true oftentimes, because once a woman is in her 30s, chances are she's had some kids and she's been caring for them, has been a primary caretaker, running around with them, probably, neglected herself a little bit. So it's not unusual that there is some weight gain. Okay, there may be exes involved in the picture, her children. A lot of guys also assume that she may not be as responsible with her credit cards and may have a lousy credit score, so then she becomes a liability. So there are any number of reasons why hitting the wall type of woman is not considered attractive, and they would rather just avoid them altogether because it's just way too much baggage for them. So let's take an example of a gentleman who might be, say, 60 years old, right? And he's going to an online dating forum and he's scrolling through, women's profile, and he comes across one that says 55-year-old female. Well, in his mind, 55 might as well be dating his grandmother. So I don't even know whether he would be attracted to that unless her picture is very beautiful and she doesn't obviously look her age. So it's funny how men have this very strange yet overly healthy view of their body image. Because a woman might be considered a 7 on a 1 to 10 scale, and the guy might be considered a 7 on a 1 to 10 scale, but yet somehow, although you would think, oh, 2 sevens, they're perfectly matched for one another and close enough in age, give it a go. He doesn't see 2 sevens as equal. He more than likely thinks he's the prize and he's that much better than her. So they would probably be better matched if he were considered a 5 and she were a 7. Then that might be a little more equal, unfortunately. So it's not unusual then also when a guy creates his dating profile, if he were, let's take again, a 50-year-old gentleman, he might actually say that the range that he's looking for is 35 to 50. A lot of times a gentleman will not include an age range that's older than him. But imagine, there's a woman looking at his profile who's 52, just 2 years older, but she looks at least 10 years younger. She could easily pass for 40, 42. He might normally find her very attractive, very stunning, and would certainly consider her. But because she's actually 52, he might never even consider her, and in his book, he's got all these preconceived notions that she's older, she's a menopausal woman, so she might be more moody and irritable and more difficult to deal with, So, we all have our little internal dialogue that we run and views of people in certain ages. So that would be a great example of a woman where if I wanted to attract men who were close to my age range, yeah, if I were 52 and I could really pass off as 42, I would absolutely do it. But keep in mind, if you're going to pass yourself off as younger, you realistically have to look that age. Take, for instance, say a woman is 55 and she thinks she looks like 40. Make sure it's not you or just your family members telling you you look like 40. Make sure you hear from strangers on multiple occasions or frequently that either, oh, you don't look anything close to 50, or I can't believe you have grown children, or my goodness, I would never have guessed you were a day older than 40. If you hear those types of comments from people you've never met before, then probably you can pull off looking like 40 and then go ahead and do it. So if the guy sees your picture or he meets you on the date and everything is going well and you can tell he's very much attracted to your physical beauty, you can tell he's very engaged in the conversation and interested in seeing you again, then go with that. So if he likes the package, if he likes what he sees and it represents that feminine beauty and youth, whatever he's looking for, then why ruin it by telling the truth? You don't need to go there on the first date. Certainly there are plenty of other topics to talk about than your age on the first date. Keep it lighthearted. Talk about your sports, your favorite teams. Talk about where you've been on vacation, where you would still like to go on vacation. What did you do last weekend? What are your hobbies? If for any reason he should be so bold and say, well, how old are you? Keep even your reply lighthearted and say, oh, don't worry, I'm legal. So keep it very, superficial, make a joke of it, and then just pick up the conversation where you were and keep going, and don't make it an issue. He'll kind of get the hint that, you're one of those ladies that just, doesn't tell their age. Nothing wrong with that. So it actually would be bad manners for him to ask anyway. I don't find that very polite at all. So anywho, so that about, actually, there's one more topic that I want to address. There is one age range and criteria where you should not lie about your age, at least not continue that beyond the first month, or when you notice situations might be getting a little bit serious. And that is if the gentleman that you're dating has a true, genuine interest in starting a family with whoever he's developing a relationship with. In other words, if you're 40, 45 and you're passing yourself off as 30, he thinks you're still of childbearing age and is hoping to have a family with you, but you know realistically you're menopausal, premenopausal, or for whatever reason biologically not able to have children. If you know that and you feel like your relationship is getting serious, you do owe it to him to come clean and tell him the truth and not lead him on. It wouldn't be fair to, keep dating and he thinks he can see a family in his future when that's not even, a possibility. So that would be the only time when I would say be careful and don't lead them on and create, eventually heartbreak in your relationship. But other than that, most things are pretty much games. So let me know what your thoughts and feelings are. Sorry for the clock deciding to chime whatever time it is. So that's what happens when you're at home. So leave some comments below. Let me know if you have any experience with dating online, with passing yourself off younger or not, and whether that's had any repercussions, good or bad. And subscribe and like, and I will see you at the next powder room. Ciao.